but we have to be grounded in the truth of Scripture, and that has to be our standard, not what the world says, not what culture says.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
I want to be clear that, like, law enforcement isn't to prevent crime.
Anthony will lose his mind. Like, what a joke. You guys are a joke.
Begging for her life. Bang! Dead. Hurt people. What happened was horrible.
Are you insane?
Yeah, that doesn't make it right. Like, that's the thing.
He plunged a knife into someone's neck.
Remember that suspect is wanted for a deputy-involved shooting.
Who decided that the recruitment video was going to be us dancing?
The suspect gets on top of the other officer, steals his taser, and that's when your husband, who feared for his life and the life of the other officer, shot and killed the suspect.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Like, how are you fulfilling the mission of law enforcement? How are you fulfilling the mandate to praise those who are doing the right thing and to crush those who are doing the wrong thing? Hey everyone, I'm Anthony, this is Gary.
Yo.
This is Two Cops, One Call, Season 3, Episode 4. Number 4. We've been at it for a while, Gary. And hey, we have a big announcement at the end of the episode. If you're a fan of the show and you can stomach getting through,
I doubt those people can.
Yeah, I feel like I should probably look at our analytics, but most people are probably checked out within the first 5 minutes. They're like, oh, these guys are morons.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not
a dude. You watching the Olympics?
Yeah. So not as much as I usually do, I guess. Okay. I don't know. The Winter Olympics are harder for me to get into than the summer, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why that is, but
okay.
But yeah, I've been into hockey, watching the hockey games. Yeah. That's been kind of cool. Watched a little bit of speed skating recently. Don't understand curling, so I can't get into that.
Dude, I love curling.
I don't understand it.
It is so relaxing.
That's the problem. I just need to understand it.
It's the number of rocks, stones,
right,
in the center that are close to the center.
I saw some big dust up between.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Canada and Switzerland.
I don't know. That was awesome.
Where the guy like touched it after.
Yeah.
Just gave it a little poke with the finger after it. I guess they can't touch it after they release it or after the line or something.
Because if you hold onto that handle too long, it's a penalty or something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't touch the handle. He pushed the rock or whatever. Or
so
it looked like he did.
Did he get in trouble for that? Did they get a penalty for that?
I didn't see it.
I didn't follow that.
But the dust up was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, of course, ended with some cursing. And
oh, yeah.
It was awesome. Very intense for curling. I could see that stuff in hockey, man. But like, it's curling, bro. You're throwing stones.
Yeah. I feel like...
Could you do the throwing stones? Would you ever want to try that?
I'd try it. I was watching it a little bit the
other night. It's like shuffleboard, except you're on ice.
Right. I was watching it a little bit the other night. I think the thing that amazes me most about it is that how steady they are on their feet. Like how good they are at navigating on the ice. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they have special shoes for that.
Yeah, but they're still like, no, I know, but they're still like, it's not special grip or anything. Like they're still like sliding. You can see they're like sliding and stuff. Yeah. And so like that's interesting to me. And then when they're like doing, doing the sweeping that try to change the direction and angle and everything and curl it, I find it amazing that they don't accidentally like step on or trip over.
Dude, I would be falling all over stuff. Stub my toe on a stone.
Because I was watching it, I was like, actually, this sport, I don't really understand it at all. I don't understand it at all. But the amount of coordination and ability and skill you need to do it, I was like, it's pretty impressive.
It's very focus centered. Like, because you're throwing that thing, 150 feet?
Right.
Like you're sliding it from 1 point to 150 feet away.
Right.
With a correct timing and like spin and like, dude, it's super cool.
Yeah. I mean, I sit there and be like, dude, I could do that.
I know.
No, I do think it's funny. People watch sports and they're like, oh, I could do that. And talk trash about, oh, I can't believe you missed that pass and can't believe you did that. And why didn't you make a move to the inside instead of the outside? And then I remember that that's how people treat the police.
Yeah, you're making split-second decisions. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And the other thing about football right now that's crazy is, the penalties for, where you hit the quarterback, if you land on him with all your weight. I'm like,
yeah, if you hit him on the head, right?
Like, how do you I feel bad for like linebackers and safeties and, these defensive linemen. I'm like, how are you supposed to, in the middle of going 100% about something, be like, oh, I just got to move my body just a little bit
or
so
back
I don't
off just a tad,
land on him. Now, some you can tell some they're like head hunting and stuff, but that's football, right?
That's what I think.
A little bit of head hunting. So
sometimes it's worth a 20-yard penalty, huh? Or whatever it is.
It depends. It depends. So speaking of feedback and thinking, how to do something, we got a lot of feedback and pushback on this last episode we did.
Okay.
On Alex Pretti and the shooting by the ICE agents and everything.
I would expect that. I would think.
Yeah. So just some pushback on our YouTube channel, some comments. People very upset with our take on it and everything. Obviously, you saw those comments. I sent them over to you. What was your general take on all that?
I mean, I would hope that if it was an in-person thing, it would be a conversation, but I probably doubt that based on some of the responses. They're super emotional.
Yeah.
I try to not be super emotional about like fact-driven incidents.
Right.
I try not to. That doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I try to leave emotion out of it, because if you let your emotions drive you, you're going to make terrible choices and decisions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're very emotional people. That's not to say that emotions are bad, but they're a temperature gauge. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to go back to the facts of this incident. And I don't think we were as clear as we should have been like my take is it's probably justified.
Right.
Probably justified with the facts that we have, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have the interviews of these guys. We don't have we don't have the interviews of the guys, and we just have videos that we've seen. So, based on what we have, I wish I would have been stronger in saying it's probably justified, but it is absolutely awful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Like, we could have maybe been. Or you felt like we could have been clearer, but
I think we said that. I mean, we said based on what we know, that it's probably justified.
You did say that there's a lot about this case that we don't know. We don't know the statements from the agents, statements from witnesses. We don't know things like, where did the first shot come from? Was the first shot from an agent, or was it a accidental discharge from the agent who had pulled the gun off of him? So you did make those comments during the episode. And I think people didn't see my question mark, because I labeled
it was the question mark was at the end, right?
Yeah. I labeled the YouTube thumbnail as awful but lawful question mark. Like
the whole thing.
The whole thing. Is it, lawful? And again, I stand by, like, I think in watching everything we watched, how it's terrible. Like, it's absolutely terrible that it went down the way it did. But I do believe, after they complete the investigation, I do believe that they will rule it justified shooting, based on a couple factors. Because to me, something happened to make the agents fire their guns. Like, what was that? What happened? One of the comments that was from these email, or not emails, these posts on YouTube, the pushback comments. One of them was that Alex Pretti wasn't an imminent threat. We know that. Like, that's the problem with people.
Yeah.
People looking at it. We know that
you're looking at it from behind. Like, we're looking hindsight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we know he wasn't an imminent threat. And our perception of it, or based on the video we watch, we believe he's not an imminent threat, because we see an agent go in and we remove the gun. But the agents there in the moment, if they believe that he was an imminent, deadly threat to them, or serious bodily injury to them, their perception is different than what we're seeing on videos.
Correct.
And that doesn't mean that perception is truth. It just means that, again, the law has allowed for a reasonable officer on the scene without hindsight bias to make that decision. And the courts have said that we have to give that to police officers because they're working in dynamic situations, rapidly changing, under extreme amounts of stress. It's a way to safeguard them so that they aren't charged with murder when they make a mistake. We've asked them, the government has asked them to do a job. That job has been created by and established by God. We're asking them to do something on behalf of citizens, and we have to understand that they're fallible human beings. They're going to make mistakes. And so from the back, looking at all this and watching all these videos, I think a mistake was made, but I don't think it was a mistake made out of criminal intent or extreme negligence or extreme indifference to human life. I think a mistake was made, and there was a belief by those agents that they were acting in a way to protect themselves from serious bodily injury and death. Now, we could be wrong.
Sure.
They could,
because we don't know dude, if these guys said, I wasn't in fear of my life, but I had to end him. Right. That's going to be a problem.
Right.
And rightly so.
Or if they knew that an agent removed the gun. I mean, I think one thing that might have happened here is that the agent that removed the gun, in the chaos, did those agents know that another agent removed the gun?
Right.
Or in the chaos, did they not realize that? And then all of a sudden, they know there's a gun in a holster. They know this guy's fighting with them. And all of a sudden, the gun isn't in the holster. Where's his hands at? I can't see his hands. That is a possibility.
In reality, he's wrapped around one agent's legs at some point, and this happens super fast. So
right.
even if the guys saw that the gun was removed, and they had already decided to shoot, their brain may have not been able to, because of science.
Right.
They may not, it takes a second and a half or something like that. I forget what the number is.
I forget the number.
So even if they realized that he was no longer armed, but they already made the decision to shoot because they thought they had to, they feared for their life. They may not have been able to stop the fact that they shot.
Right.
And that's the difference between frame by frame versus being in the moment.
Right.
And it's reasonable to, it's reasonable.
Yeah. And if there was an accidental discharge and all of a sudden, these agents are fighting, there's an accidental discharge, they realize, where's the gun? Again, a mistake.
Yeah.
And a deadly mistake for Alex Pretti, but not illegal.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Awful, but I do believe it will be found to be a lawful shooting. That those agents will probably regret the rest of their lives, and some of them may have a really hard time dealing with it. But
for sure,
the one of the other comments we had was that federal agents escalated the encounter. Completely false.
I agree 100%. That was they did not listen. And in reality, you're allowed to escalate the situation.
Correct.
Okay. So them showing up is an escalation of force. Them being there is an escalation of force. Them deciding to go remove him from the roadway and to pull him off the woman that they just pushed, to spray him. Those are all escalations and they're lawful.
Right.
That's what police officers are supposed to do. What are they just going to stand there and do nothing? I think that's what some people want. Well, they don't want them there. So I understand that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it unlawful.
Well, I think to your point, I think some people believe that a citizen is allowed to resist law enforcement or resist ICE agents, that somehow they have a moral obligation. And the fact is that regardless of where you fall morally on the whole idea of deporting people, it is illegal and immoral to intervene in what they're doing.
That's right.
There's if you have a complaint about what they're doing, a complaint against what they're doing, protest.
Yell, scream, throw whistles,
a complaint.
whatever. Beep your horns.
make a official complaint, do it. But the moment you decide to interject yourself in law enforcement activity, and interject yourself physically in law enforcement activity, you can and most likely will be arrested. And force, if you're going to use force, and again, I'm not saying Alex Pretti was like punching and kicking in this incident, but he definitely stepped between agents and the woman. He definitely put his hands on an agent. That's illegal. You can't do that. I don't care.
You should be arrested.
Where your, moral superiority lies. Like, you can't do it. Force will be used to take you into custody. And then if you do that, if you make the decision to do that while armed, you are really, what you're doing is you're taking the pin out of a grenade and just holding it. And you are getting something really, really bad ready to happen. And you are forcing officers. I don't care how many officers are fighting with you. I don't care how many officers are around you. If the police or any law enforcement agents are fighting with an armed individual, I don't care if the gun is in the holster. You are an armed individual. You're now an armed assailant. That you are pushing those officers into a deadly force situation. Like, there's no other conclusion that they can come to if you're willing to fight with them, that it's just a minute step that you're willing to use a weapon against them. And I don't understand, we had one person say, 8 officers surrounding him, and someone yells gun and that gives him a right to shoot him. I'm like,
that's not what happened, but
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you decide to fight with the police and you're armed when you do it, any police officer will tell you they are stepping over the line into a deadly force situation.
Right.
That's just I don't know any other way to put it than that.
And the whole scenario, we say this all of the time, is driven by Pretti.
Yes.
Everything is driven by him. He's the one. He could have just laid there and put his hands behind his back, but he didn't. He bucked up and struggled with the police, wouldn't let them take him into custody. And there was an 8 accidental discharge. Whatever happened.
And we don't even know if that happened.
Right.
We're not sure. That's why I was like, that's why I would like to know, where did the first shot come from?
Sure.
Because there's a shot and then there's like a volley of shots from the agents.
Yeah.
Like, where did that first shot come from?
Yeah. There was another statement about that our political views are being, like, it's obvious where our political views lie based on our response to this video. I would say that's not true at all. My views are based on a worldview, which is based on scripture.
Yeah.
So, like, it might come into line with some political view that some people have, but everybody has a worldview based on something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And mine's based on scripture. That's where my worldview comes from. And the law enforcement is a God-given grace,
right,
with authority to wield a sword.
Right.
Okay. And this guy was a lawbreaker.
Mm-hmm. And
it is unfortunate that he made decisions which resulted in his death.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care that he brought a gun. Like, he's allowed to have a gun. It's his right to have a gun. We yelled at, we got no statements about, we said Kash Patel was wrong for saying that he shouldn't have brought a gun to a protest.
No one wanted to talk about that.
No one wants to talk about that. Like, we're going to push back where our worldview based on scripture, differs from something that somebody says. And like, Kash Patel is wrong. He shouldn't have said that.
Right.
You can bring a gun to a protest. Just keep it in your holster.
Yeah. Yeah. But then the response would be like, well, he did keep it in his holster and he got shot over it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I think I would say, keep it in your holster and don't fight with the police.
Yeah.
While you have it.
Yeah. It'd be lawful, right? If they ask you to move away, you move away.
Right. You don't
Instead,
intervene.
he's literally he's enticing them to do something, which is what he wanted. I don't think he wanted to die. We don't know. Right.
Right.
We don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. And I did take, the one comment we had where, he was armed and it was in the holster. I'm like, again, like, that's just wild to me. As a police officer, you're telling me if you were fighting with someone and they were armed with their gun in the holster, it wouldn't be a deadly force situation until they remove the gun from the holster.
Right. Or it's not like a higher stakes arrest.
Yeah.
Right?
I just don't, like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, it takes a millisecond for that person to remove the firearm, and that can end in an officer's death, an officer's like serious bodily injury, like a bystander, innocent citizen's injury. Like that's like policing 101, that we don't need to wait until we're shot at or the gun is in someone's
the trigger's
hand.
being pulled, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to wait.
I'm telling you, having been with another officer in a fight with a guy who pulled a gun from his waistband and immediately threw it, like it was like that. We didn't even realize what was happening until we heard the gun hit the ground.
Right.
And you want to talk about an oh crap moment, like, holy cow, thank God he threw the gun and didn't decide to use it.
Yeah.
Because we never even saw it come out.
Because again, police is all reactive, which is slower than
action. Yeah. Action is always faster than reaction. There's no way you can match it. So, yeah. So again, what we're saying is we believe that it will be found to be a lawful shooting. I don't think any agents will be criminally charged. We could be wrong. Yeah. And we'll have to wait and see how the investigation works out. But yeah, the
law is in their favor. That's what I'm saying. The law is in their favor.
Right.
And rightly so, because that's why the Supreme Court has agreed to make Graham v. Connor and
right.
What are the two? Objectively reasonable and
it's objectively reasonable officer on the scene.
Yeah.
At
the time, with the totality of the circumstances around.
At the time, with the totality of circumstances, without hindsight.
Yeah, without hindsight. I mean, dude, it's there. The law is in their favor.
Right.
I get it. It's emotional. It's brutal that it happened. But I think the law is in their favor.
And the law should be in favor of the people who are trying to enforce it. The law should be in favor of people who keep the law. The law is there to restrain people like Alex Pretti, who decided to act in ways that broke the law, who were like criminal. So the law should favor. Now, if he wouldn't have died during this incident and they would have arrested him, then he's afforded certain rights and everything. But you don't have the right to fight with the police. You don't have a right to intervene in law enforcement action that the police are taking. You don't have a right to fight with them, to resist them, to assault them. And this wasn't like a once and done thing. We saw the video from 11 days before where he was spitting on federal agents, kicking lights out of their cars. He's
a criminal.
He's not a protester. He's a criminal. Yeah. That's what he was in. That's what he was engaged in. So we just.
Listen. I like that. We've been saying, hey, give us feedback, and thankfully it came. Hopefully, I don't know these people from anybody. I guess I know one.
Yeah, we know one guy.
And I'm sure that we can still hug it out. You know what I mean? Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't kneecap us the next time he sees us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, It was interesting. I've always found it interesting, like those things that we get the most pushback on. Because usually
I figured we'd get pushback on this one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
It's not as clean as somebody.
Oh, it's not
that
clean
shot
at all.
somebody and then points the gun at the cops who arrived. Like that's super clean, right?
Right.
That's super easy. It's super clean. Someone running at an officer with a knife, and you get that slow-mo picture of like the crazy face.
Right.
Those are pretty simple, right? Those are easy.
Yeah.
But even that, even with someone charging you with a knife, can still cause you problems as a law enforcement officer.
As we're going to talk about now. I mean, it's this case out of New York City. This suspect who charged at the police with a knife, they end up shooting him, and Mayor Mamdani has all kinds of ridiculous things to say. So we'll start out by showing the video of the actual officer involved shooting. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
Yes. You coming?
In body camera video released by the NYPD Tuesday, 2 officers enter a home on Parsons Boulevard in Jamaica Hills, Monday, January 26th. A woman leads them inside, where a man standing in the kitchen grabs a knife.
Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
The officers go behind a glass door, continuing orders.
Put the knife down!
4 gunshots ring out, and the man sits on the couch. The NYPD released this video Tuesday, edited to include its narrative of what happened, writing that Mr. Chakraborty was experiencing a mental health episode, that he threw a glass against a wall and requested an ambulance so that he could be involuntarily taken to a hospital.
Yeah, so
there it is.
Cut and dry. I mean,
the officer did a great job.
Yeah, and can I just point out one thing? They tried to de-escalate.
They shut the door on the guy.
They shut the door on the guy.
Which is super dangerous considering he's in there with another person with a knife.
Yes.
Super dangerous. But they tried to de-escalate. They said, put the knife down.
Now, I would say that
backed out.
It did seem like he had a problem with them and not family, because I don't know if that was his mom or who it was who was literally tried to grab him and hold him back. He made no attempts to stab her or anything, so they made this decision to shut the door. But yeah, and this is the great thing about police work. I don't know if I want to call it the great thing. The frustrating thing about police work, like, so if they shut the door and he turned and he stabbed someone in the house, these cops would be like crucified. They would be destroyed. But that didn't happen. He comes at him with the knife. They shut the door on him. He opens the door and comes at him again, and they end up shooting him. This suspect did not die, but yeah. So this was a mental health call. Supposedly the suspect had thrown a glass at a wall or something like that. Family's now saying that they only wanted an ambulance to come, Mamdani has said that he wants to create this mental health unit that responds to calls like this. He's like, police would still be a part of the unit if there was like violence involved in the call and everything. I'm like, okay, well, if this suspect threw a glass, the police probably would have went with, and it probably would have ended the same way.
Actually, probably somebody
would have
got stabbed, and then the police would have shot. That's probably what would happen.
Yeah. So.
Are you showing what the mayor said?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to touch on one thing that he said, not in this video that I'm going to show here shortly, but he a reporter said to him, well, the fact is he wasn't violent. He didn't pick up the knife till the police got there. And I'm just like, okay, he was violent. If he's throwing a glass at the wall, he's violent. So the police would have responded. And what are you going to do if this mental health unit gets there and he pulls a knife on them? Like, what are they going to do? They're going to call the police. And then you're probably, or
they're going to get stabbed.
They're going to get stabbed.
Wind up with extra holes in their body.
Yes. So anyways, this happened, after this shooting happened. Mayor went to the hospital, visited this suspect, was talking very kindly about the suspect, had nothing to say about the job the police did, but made it clear that his heart was breaking for this family and for this suspect. That's fine. If that's what your heart wants to break for people like that, fine. But you're showing deference, and you're showing I think deference is the right word. You're showing a deference to a lawbreaker. That's what you're doing. So he made these comments and went and visited him and stuff. And then just recently, he was asked a question again about the charges brought against the suspect, and here's what he had to say.
I have not directly spoken with the district attorney. I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain. What they need right now is care, dignity, and support. Jabez should not be prosecuted by the Queens District Attorney. His handcuffs should be removed, and he should be receiving the care that he needs. And moments like this, they lay bare what so many New Yorkers already know, which is that our city must build a mental health response that is rooted in prevention, in compassion, and in crisis care.
Yeah, so there's Mayor Mamdani. Again, he's showing complete deference for a criminal.
Yeah. So when he brought a knife at it, so he did a criminal act. So like, I'm not going to say that this guy's a criminal. He came at the officers with a knife. All right.
Okay.
He was having a mental breakdown. We know that. There's still consequences for that.
Yeah, they said he has a schizophrenic diagnosis.
And that's brutal and sad, and obviously he needs help. But like, he made a choice still to grab a knife and run at cops.
Right.
Twice. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I think what the mayor did is kind and nice, but I don't know, like, it doesn't fix anything that happened. And in reality, he should still be charged. And that's probably how we can make sure that he gets his mental health taken care of. Because because in reality, he's going to go to the hospital, maybe voluntarily, maybe not, but then he's going to get out because doctors don't keep people in anymore. There's no places for the mentally ill who need supervised or they can't be in society.
Yeah, there's no more psych hospitals.
Right.
They don't exist, and we have people that are roaming around the general public that are unsafe.
Sure. People
to be around the general public. Now, again, I don't know the history with this guy. He has a history of schizophrenia. Obviously, he can be violent.
Yeah.
The officers didn't even have a chance to talk to him.
No.
As soon as he saw him, he grabbed a knife. And again, the report was that he had threw a glass at a family member or at a wall, something like that. So, obviously when he's in, he's volatile. I think my thing with the mayor, like, sure, express kindness to the family, to the suspect. I just think it's the wrong move for a leader of a city to show deference to people who are trying to hurt other people, whether it be a police officer or anyone. To show deference to that person, I think is off base. It's not what you're called to do. And it's fine if you want to give him care, if you want to give him help,
which we should
100%. But do it while he's incarcerated. We've talked about this before. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Like, we're so focused on help and care. You can help and care for someone while at the same time giving them consequences.
Yeah, holding them accountable for their
do
actions.
it with your kids.
Well, you should be doing it with your kids.
Yeah, but you should be doing it with your kids. But think about the times your kids have been in trouble and you're still trying to give them help and care. I mean,
it actually is the loving thing to do.
Yes, like it's providing guardrails for them. So I'm fine with giving people help and care that have mental health problems, but do it while they're incarcerated. If you're willing to try and kill police officers, what's going to keep you from killing anyone else? That's why it's so important to, like, put you somewhere where you can't do that and then give you the help and care there, instead of trying to manage someone who's violent and has mental health problems that are exasperating that violence, and release them to the general public so that they can maybe do it again. It makes zero sense to me. But he also made the statement that mental health response needs to be rooted in prevention. And I'm like, again, that's all fine and good, but prevent the moment the police officers get there, or this mental health unit that you're going to send, prevention is out the window the moment he grabs a knife. Like, we're not going to prevent anything other than him trying to hurt or kill someone. That's the only thing we're going to prevent. And if that means that we need to use force to do it, again, legally, completely justified, we're going to do that. But that's the time for consequences.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But I did think it was interesting. The family right now is saying that they just wanted EMS to arrive.
Yeah.
I will say, if you watch the video, when the police get there, they ask if they can come inside. The family says, come on inside. So we'll see what happens with it. But man, what a bad look for Mayor Mamdani to say the cuffs should come off this guy. He should be released.
He shouldn't be charged.
He shouldn't be charged. I mean, yeah, that guy is wild.
Yeah. I mean, like, in reality, the officer is, again, part of the community.
Yeah.
He is a neighbor, and someone came at him with a knife.
You're getting so good at this stuff.
I'm not that good, dude. What are you talking about? Like, it's just, it's wild to me, once again. Like, the police officer is there for a reason. He's trying to help, and this guy comes at him with a knife. Okay, he's got mental problems.
Right.
Okay, I get it. You still chose to grab a knife and go at the cops.
Like, what?
There's a reason that happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and there's no option. Like you take all the options off the table for the police. They at that moment there should be no thought by the police officer about, I wonder what his mental health diagnosis is. What can I do to
what happened in his life in the past?
It? Yeah, like what's his ACEs score? Like all that's off the table because you've had someone that made a decision to pick up a deadly weapon, a huge knife, by the way, and try to hurt or kill you. And still, I would say these officers backed out, closed the door to create a barrier between them and the bad guy, tried to de-escalate.
Right.
And I think you make a good point, putting other people in possible danger.
Yeah. I don't think they had a shot initially because there was someone behind him in the kitchen.
I think that was,
he was real close to the mom or the woman there in the thing. So they were like,
their background.
I don't
was
think
really
they,
bad.
yeah, they don't think they had a shot.
Yeah.
I think that was a wise choice.
Right.
Back out.
Yeah. And again, like,
I guess they could have kept backing out and then hope for the best inside the house.
Right. Well, and that's the other
and
thing.
Who else is coming? No one else is coming. Right. So they've been asked to fix a problem.
Right.
And then the problem escalates because of someone else's behavior.
Right.
There's no one else coming. Like that, like the police officer is there to fix the problem. That's why they weren't called, but they showed up, they were dispatched, they get there. They're the only ones who can fix the problem.
No,
the mayor's not going out there.
Right.
The ambulance might be on the way, but somebody has to fix the problem that the family couldn't fix. And they called for help. Help arrived. Like, what else do we want?
You called 911 and you said, our family member is being violent and he's schizophrenic and we need help.
Yeah.
Like, who do you want to call? You only want an ambulance crew to come? When you called 911, I don't think that's what you wanted. I think you wanted anyone to get there to help you.
Just to calm the situation down.
Yeah. And it didn't. It didn't happen. Like, and that's the
like
thing.
the officer's the victim here because he's gonna have to, like, first of all, he had to shoot a guy. That's not fun.
Right.
There's nothing about that's cool. Like most cops aren't like, yes.
Right.
I don't know of any who are like, yes, I got to zap that guy.
Maybe a feeling of euphoria afterwards that they survived. That's they won.
Yeah. But he's got to live with that the rest of his life, and who knows what pushback he's going to get from his department, the leaders in his department.
Right.
The mayor obviously doesn't care about him.
Right.
Like, it's obvious the mayor does not care about that police officer.
Oh, I don't think the mayor cares about any of the police officers. I mean, he's talking about taking 5,000 off the street and to help with this. I mean, he has this socialist dream for the city, and then he's realizing, wait, I don't have the money to do this. So I got to raise taxes by 10% on everyone and take cops off the street. I mean, it's this is what you voted for, New York City. This is what you voted for. And that place is quickly turning into a cesspool. And when you have a mayor that doesn't support first responders that are getting called to calls like this, like you said, you go, mayor.
Yeah.
You go first.
Right.
Show us how it's done.
Yeah. You do it.
Show us how it's done.
Right. Maybe you have a better way.
Yeah. But I'd like to see that. But you go first and let us know how it's done. And because that's the thing, people call the police. Everybody calls. Anybody who's in any type of trouble or has an emergency calls 911, and yet has the gall and the I don't even know what you want to call it, the stupidity to talk to the police and treat the police in a certain way. And that's just like this cop Karen. They named her cop. I think they named her Cop Karen. I feel bad for women whose names is actually Karen. My sister-in-law's name is
I know
Karen.
a lot of nice Karens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like women named Karen. Like
right.
I know many who are very nice.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can only think of my sister-in-law. I just feel bad for her. You know, if your name is Karen, like how did that start?
I don't know, man. It's funny.
Did it start with someone named Karen acting unhinged?
I have no clue, dude. I have no clue.
It's interesting. I just thought of that now. But anyways, this cop Karen.
What's the male? Are we allowed to say that? What's the male definition of a Karen?
I don't know, Kyle.
God, don't be a Kyle.
Don't be a Kyle.
No, I don't know any cool Kyles.
Oh, you better be careful.
I'm just kidding. No, I know some Kyles. But it's not Kyle, dude. Like,
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a name. When I hear certain names, I immediately think certain things about people.
Well, yeah.
Are you like that? If you hear a certain name,
what's one of them? Like,
I don't know. I don't want to say them because like I know people that. But I'm saying like, you know, when you hear a certain name, you're like, oh, I know what that guy's gonna be like, or I know what that girl's gonna be like. So now I feel like that's what's happened with Karen. Like if your name's Karen, you're like, oh, okay.
Someone's going to treat me a certain way because I
mean, you're going to have weird colored hair.
This woman is unhinged.
This is crazy. So this is Thurston County in Washington. And
Washington State?
Yeah, Washington State. Thurston County. This is Sheriff Deputy Domino. I think is how you say it.
A new guy.
Yeah, a newer guy. And this cop Karen comes up to him and she's just, what a hero. What a hero.
Saving the children.
What are you doing?
What am I doing here?
Why are you here?
I was just doing a collision report, ma'am. Okay.
Are you guys going to be here much longer?
Until I'm done doing my job.
Because one of the teachers, when I dropped off over there, said y'all been circling since about 8.
Okay. Well, I'm just doing my job, so the quicker I do
Your
my job...
job at the elementary school since about 8 a.m.?
I wasn't here at
There was
8
a
a.m.
collision here at the elementary school?
You have a good day. I'm going to continue to do my job.
You work for us, and you're scaring these families.
Okay. Well,
you should probably go do your job where your job lives. Because I don't see that it needs to be right here all morning.
Okay. I'm going to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
The person that I was just working with left approximately 5 minutes ago. This was a collision report for them. I'm doing my job. I gave them all their information.
Can you maybe, like for a second, acknowledge that you could be a really upsetting sight for people right now?
Yes, ma'am, I'm just doing my job.
I get it. So. I get it. But like for us to be able to collaborate with y'all at all going forward, you're going to have to show us some humanity. You're going to have to show us that you understand the circumstances and the feelings that you evoke. Because like, it would be so rad to feel like you're here for us. It would be so rad to feel like you guys get it and understand that you are actually the defending line between us and the fascism. But until like that's overt, that's overt that you're part of our community,
well, ma'am,
then I don't think you should be lingering
with
here.
Absolutely all due respect, I'm not going to continue to go back and forth. I'm going to try to finish my job as fast as possible. Okay? Keep in mind that you are cussing. We are in front of a school. So please just keep that in mind, okay?
I'll give you that. That's fair.
Okay, so the quicker I get this done, I can leave, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not really not trying to bother you, okay?
Please really be thinking about these kids and these moms.
Look, I get it, ma'am.
You know what moms are going through right now, right?
I do understand that, but let me just please, I'll get this out of the way and I'll be out of everyone's hair,
I sure would appreciate that.
Yep. You have a good rest of your day, okay?
You too.
So there you have it.
Wow.
So this Deputy Domino, first of all, I want to give you 2 props. First of all, your mustache is...
Yeah, it's nice.
It's on point. And then second of all,
I like when he kept going over. He's like, I just want to talk about this crash report.
And I thought it was funny that the sheriff had some statement somewhere where he said, you know, that Deputy Domino is a young officer, but handled himself like a 30-year veteran. And I'm thinking to myself,
I was like, ooh.
I'm pretty sure a 30-year veteran would have not handled that as well as Deputy Domino.
That's probably
I
true.
think a 30-year veteran would have been like,
today I retire
from my car.
Today I retire.
Yeah.
And I'm going out with a bang.
Karen's getting arrested.
Karen's phone's getting thrown.
Because he showed an extreme amount of patience with this lady. Because I was like, dude.
That looks like to me now, that would be fun. Like, I would love that.
But see, you have to be in the right mood. I think there's times where I'm
in the right mood. That's probably true.
No, I think there's times where I'm on the job where I could deal with that and be like completely professional and not lose my temper.
Yeah.
And then I think I would also have shifts where I would be like, "You're an insane person. Get away from my car." Like I don't.
Like, do you need a ride to the hospital because you're acting a little
I'm going to
weird?
302 you. I think you need to be, I think a mental health evaluation on you. I mean,
so she was mad because the police officers there in front of the school, in front of the playground, and it was scaring the children and moms.
No, it wasn't.
Well, that's what she said.
She's saying it's scaring them, but
no, that's what I know.
Who in their right mind?
Dude, kids love cops.
Who in their right mind thinks like this?
Dude, if you drive by a school, I mean, I'm not in a cop car anymore, but when you drive to school, what are the kids doing? Like if they're outside, what are most of them doing? They're waving at you.
Waving, yelling at you.
Yeah. Like it's kids, like my experience is kids absolutely love cops.
Well,
especially in their groups together. Like if they're in, like if they're at school, man, dude, it's entertaining.
And I love when she goes, "You're scaring everyone and you should go do your job where your job lives." I'm like,
yeah, that was a weird statement.
I'm like, so if something happens at the school, who are you going to call? You're going to call the police.
Yeah.
You know, that's who you're going to call.
Well, and she said, like, you guys aren't stopping, like, basically the police don't stop any crimes ever, which I thought was wild.
Yeah.
Like, what world does she live in?
She's like, you're the line between us and fascism. So she had other posts up on Instagram. I found that, first of all, here, don't go to her Instagram page. Like,
did you make that mistake?
Yeah, because you know, and she's
is she a stripper? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, she might. I think she might be a stripper. Like, yeah. So don't go to her Instagram page. But there was another video she put out where she basically was talking about ICE and F-ICE and all this and that the police, you know, she believed that they were there. You know, they don't protect people from ICE. And she believes they're working in conjunction with ICE, and that there were many mixed race and ethnic students on the playground at the time. And I'm like, you're unhinged, lady. Like, show me a video of ICE agents going after elementary kids. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening. And then they show, you know, they show that one 5-year-old,
the blue bunny hat.
Was that like the blue bunny? Yeah, and the agents are with him, and they're like, "Oh, see, look, they're detaining a 5-year-old." No, they're with a 5-year-old that was abandoned by his dad, who ran from ICE agents. But yeah, so this lady's completely.
People still believe that. You know that, right?
I know they
still believe that ICE kidnapped that kid.
That ICE kidnapped the kid, right?
Yeah.
But she's like, for us to collaborate with you, you have to show us humanity. Dude, he's like sitting in his car writing a report. Like, he's not like firing rounds out of his window or anything.
And kudos to him. Like, that's a great spot to sit.
Yes.
Because anybody who wants to do any ill will toward those children or those moms,
right,
is going to think twice about
it. It is a great spot to sit. You are in a high visibility location doing your job. He's writing up an accident report. Like, it's a great spot to sit. And then, you know, and then you flip this and you give this guy 10 years and he's like, I'm going to go hide to do this report.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want people to approach me. I'm going to back up to a wall so that no one can walk up behind me. And I'm going to back up in a way that I can see the entire area around me. And I'm going to do this report. And everyone's like, oh, you know, he's a, you know, parking lot princess and he doesn't do anything.
Like, we've gone
all they ever do. Like, and I'm like, what do you,
like, you remember in Lancaster, right, Anthony? Like, there was this big time where like neighbors would call the police station and be like, I never see police officers. I never see police officers ever. They never, and I love the qualifiers, right? Never and always.
Never.
Like,
always.
I try not to use them, but I often do.
Yeah.
But like, that was like the big thing. Well, okay, so hey guys, can you drive through these blocks? Yeah, I drive through that block every day. Sometimes I go the opposite direction just because I like to sneak up on people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we've gone from like, we want to see more police to like, why are you even here? Why do you even exist?
It's a no. I think more and more it just feels like a no-win profession.
Yeah, depending on where you live or where you work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We live in a great area. People generally like
support what we do.
Yeah.
But it's you know, you're
and then look at the difference. Like, where we live is pretty chill.
Yeah.
It's super chill because the community recognizes that police officers are part of the community, that we're all neighbors. We're all in this together, right? That's a big thing. We're trying to just live life and just have lots of babies, fill the world with good kids,
right?
And just live life, contribute to community, help each other out. It's a different world,
right?
And then you go to these other places that are absolute chaotic, dirty, filthy, rotten. Nobody cares about anybody. except for themselves.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. So like, I'm grateful that where I live, and I wish other places had the same type of people.
Yeah.
Cause it is people driven. Like it's the way we think about life and what we hope to have in life.
This deputy did a great job.
He did a great job.
He was
good
super
for him.
professional. Sheriff Sanders, the sheriff in charge of this, Thurston County.
His statements were great.
This is great. He puts out, "Thank you for recording your encounter with our deputy yesterday. As a result of his professionalism when dealing with you, we'll be issuing him a commendation for his employee file. We encourage our deputies to spend time at our elementary schools, and the staff and kids absolutely love being around our deputies and school resource officers. Thanks again." Perfect.
Yep. Great job. A little bit sarcastic, which
Troller.
I love. Yep, I love it.
And you thought it was okay for you to whip your phone out, your camera out, and go up and talk to a police officer like that and act like that and put it out on social media and call yourself a hero for doing it? Troller. The sheriff, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
I love he's going to get a commendation for being kind.
I know, that's
professional.
He should, man.
Yeah,
I watched this guy. I was like, wow, man, you have the patience of a saint. I would have.
Yeah.
There is no way I would have handled that as well as he handled it.
Oh, dude, I would have done so much more than he did. Like, I would have got out and talked to her.
Yeah.
I would have probably gone up to kids and been like giving them high fives. Like, dude, I would have thrown snowballs. Like, dude, it would have been a show. An absolute show.
Yeah. And that's what I love about you, Gary, because like I watched the video and my blood pressure went through the roof. You watch a video, you're like, oh, this be a lot of fun.
I'm like, this is gonna be a blast.
Man, I wish I could be like Gary. I wish I could be more like Gary in roles like that, Larry. Just have fun with it.
Dude, I'd be like, how am I acting like a fascist, man? Like, explain this to me.
What
Train
is
me,
fascism?
teach me. What is that? Like, I don't want to be that. It sounds mean. What is, dude? I would have made her look like such a fool. I mean, she made herself look like a fool.
She did make herself look like a fool.
Super funny, man.
Yeah. So, props to him. Props to Deputy Domino.
Great job.
Great job. So, we're at that point. We're at the point for the big announcement.
The big announcement.
I actually wrote out.
Are you just gonna read it?
I think I am.
Do you want me to read it?
No.
In like your voice, and I'll say all your funny little things that you say, the way you say things.
I thought about just giving the announcement and just winging it, but I really wanted to get a couple things across, and I was just afraid I'd like forget.
If you cry, I am going to make fun of you.
Well, you basically told people what we're doing then.
You could be crying for multiple reasons. Maybe you're having another baby. Maybe you're...
This is the last episode, folks. Let's just tear the Band-Aid off.
Dude, you ripped it off.
This is what you gotta do. You just gotta... This is the last episode.
Dude, if you tear up, I'm telling you, Anthony, do not cry, dude. Do not. I will walk away.
Dude, I'm not planning on...
Because you're an emotional guy, and
I am emotional
I
guy.
like your emotions.
I'm a
you
super
put
emotional guy.
A lot of time, effort, energy, funds into like this thing.
Right.
But if you cry, I am going to walk away. Like, I'm going to take the headphones off. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to leave.
And I thought you were a good friend. I thought you'd hand me a tissue or something.
No, I'm going to make fun of you.
No, I am not going to cry. It does come with mixed emotions. I am excited. And I'll read what I have written here in a second, but it may seem like a real sudden thing. But it's something that, me, my wife, Gary have been talking about here for a couple months, praying about. So I'll read down over this. And then I'm going to give Gary the last word.
Yeah, this is a mistake.
No, it's not. No, so about 5 years ago, I started.
So are you going to read this and then are you going to like narrate some more, or are you going to just be like done and then I got to say stuff? I want to know how to prepare myself for this.
I don't know, Gary. Okay. I'm just going to read down over this and yeah. So
dude, how long is this?
It's not that long.
All right, just read it.
Give me. This is why we're ending it. Gary and I are done. Our friendship is over.
Yeah. All right, read this thing. Come on, I'll be quiet.
About 5 years ago, I started podcasting. Obviously, not to make any money or gain any notoriety. because it didn't either. But for sure, we've seen that grow, and bringing in more fans has been an awesome thing. But my primary reason for doing this podcast was to do what we just did earlier in the podcast, and that's to push back against the vitriol, lies, disrespect, and hatred against something that has been established by God to help restrain the evilness of men, that being law enforcement. That's been the main reason that we've done these podcasts. So Gary's helped me out. He's made it happen. Early on, we pushed back against BLM, other hate groups, and godless ideologies when it wasn't very popular to do so. And it's pendulum swung a little bit. It seems like more people are doing that, and that's a good thing. And at that time, though, it wasn't popular, but we absolutely refused to bend the knee to any person or group, because the only person we bend our knee to is God Almighty. So over the past couple of months, through prayer and conversations with my wife and Gary, like I said, it became clear that it's time to end the podcast. Several reasons that I personally have. Gary's pretty much along for the ride, but he'll do whatever. He goes where I go, I guess. But there's several reasons I have. One of them, I think it's important to give the reasons why, because I know there's been fans of the show, so I think it's important to give reasons why. One of them is, in talking to my wife and with Gary, like, it became obvious that this doesn't really add anything to my family. I'm a big take the next hill guy, and I think sometimes we forget about our family being the biggest hill we should be taking. So it doesn't add anything to the family. In fact, it takes away. These episodes, they don't just make themselves. There's a lot of work involved in them. There's been a bunch of stuff around the house that's been on the back burner for 5 years. My wife has a honey-do list for me, and there's some things that I want to work on, projects here around the house. Other opportunities have been put in front of me. I have some other opportunities to do some different things that I'm looking at and may jump on. And just the last one is just rest. I mean, I do this job, and then I do a podcast where I talk about this job, and I'm constantly like looking at videos and watching stuff and combing social media. I've said it before. I hate social media. I think it's a cesspool, and I can't but it's hard to do something like this without being in it. And so I always feel like I'm in it. And rest is one thing that is very hard for me to do. And so just pulling back from doing a podcast and being able to get off social media and stuff, I think will help me rest. So those are some of my reasons. But finally, as we bring this podcast to close, I've thought a lot about what my final word would be, or my final thought I'd like to share with the many fans of the show. Two things came to mind. First of all, there are no perfect people in this world. We are all corrupted by sin. The same is true for law enforcement. It is made up of men and women who are not perfect. They are not infallible, but many of them, most of them, are willing to step into something that many cannot or will not do. Everything they do is scrutinized by those who don't do it and don't understand it. The vast majority of their interactions are negative, and they are treated like absolute garbage on a daily basis. On a personal level, I believe one thing that has affected me most in my career is the cumulative effect of constant confrontation, disrespect, and hatred other people have shown me because of a uniform I wear. And yet every day, men and women drag themselves out of bed or drink gallons of coffee to stay up all night and to go and serve even those that hate them. Like this cop Karen we just talked about. They don't do it for money. They don't do it for the fame. But they do it out of a strong conviction of devotion to other people, dedication to duty, love of country, and in the case of Gary and I, a love of God. The next time our media or those steeped in godless ideologies try and destroy a police officer or write the narrative, do Gary and I a favor. Come ask our opinion or find a police officer in your life to talk about it with. For a culture obsessed with lived experience, not many desire to understand the experiences of a police officer. Lastly, I will leave you with this. We have hope. His name is Jesus. If you don't know him, you can. Romans 10:9 says that if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Whether you work as a police officer or anything else, there is no amount of good that you can do to be righteous before a holy and perfect God. Jesus, born of a virgin, being fully man and fully God, lived a perfect life so that he could be a perfect sacrifice for you. He died on the cross in your place and then rose 3 days later conquering sin and death. Right now, he's at the right hand of the Father, but will return to judge living and dead. The work is complete. You can do nothing to earn it except to confess and believe. And if you do that, he will take away your sin and put on you his righteousness, saving you and giving you eternity with God the Father. That is probably the one thing I would want for everyone listening to our episodes, including this very last one, to know. Really would like to extend my thanks and appreciation for our patrons. We've had patrons over the last 5 years who have supported us. Much of the equipment you see was purchased with all of their support, or some of their support at least. Subscriptions. There's been so much they have done for the podcast, giving us ideas, sending us videos, giving us feedback, helping with sound, like all types of things they've done for this podcast and these episodes. So I can't thank them enough. And so it's bittersweet for me because, like I said, I've been doing it for 5 years now. Podcasting, not something I ever thought I would do. Gary also never thought he'd be sitting behind a mic and talking to people. But yeah, time to bring it to the end. Gary, what do you got?
That's a good word, Anthony. I didn't prepare anything.
I know you didn't prepare anything, but but you came with some thoughts, I'm sure.
I always have thoughts. It doesn't mean they're organized or thoughtful. Dude, I don't know, man. Like when you lost your mind in 2020 and I came to your office, which I normally don't like to go to supervisors' offices, especially voluntarily. Well, I don't mind so much going voluntarily, but oftentimes I was pulled into offices, which was unfortunate. But I went to your office one day and I said, look, Anthony, I know, like, listen, you're retiring, but you can't collect yet. Like, it's going to be a rough time probably. Like, listen, I'm here for you. I'll do I'll do anything for you.
And boy, did I not forget that.
Yeah. And literally what I meant was, hey, Anthony, if you need some money in the next couple months, like, I'll try to help you out. That's what I meant. I probably should have been more clear. And then you hit me up like a couple months later. He goes, hey, man, I'm going to start this podcast. Something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And you're like, I want you on. I'm like, dude. And you're like, you told me you would do anything for me. I'm like, all right, sure. So we did the thing. Anyway, dude, I love the fact that you went from Diakonos to Low Expectations and then Two Cops, One Call. Like, you know, you bounced around. Like, you had different thoughts and ideas. Dude, Diakonos, you interviewed some cool people.
Yeah.
Like good cops, good people. And I thought that was super cool. You know, number of followers, and like our main goal, it seemed to me, was to remind people that, like, we ought to pursue good with, like, all of our hearts and then crush evil.
Yeah.
And that means, like, in our own lives, because we've talked about that a lot, and you and I will continue to talk about that.
Sure.
That we're constantly going after what is good and right and just and lovely and beautiful. And then we will crush all that is chaotic and brutal and evil.
Yeah.
So, and ultimately, the good is Christ, like clinging to Christ,
right?
Which you mentioned. So, I had a blast. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I love chatting with you. So that was super fun, and it is bittersweet, but I think it is. I mean, you were ready to be done, and I've been your little sidekick, and I'm happy to be that guy. So I've had fun. We talked about fun things. We laughed.
Yeah.
And I think I would say this. Don't be like, let's work on not being so easily manipulated. Don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
Especially from the media or from politicians or from even police chiefs. Like, take a step back, think a little bit. Like, have a proper worldview, which is based in scripture, and just take a step back and just realize if you're not a believer, like, your worldview, the way that you view things, anything, especially police related things,
right?
Not especially, but also police things,
right?
Is from something. Like, you have a belief system, and if it's not from the Word of God, if it's not spirit empowered, like, you're missing out, and you're being manipulated by the evil one and all of all the all of his minions, which includes the world and the world system. So flee from evil, run to that which is good. That's what I would say.
Awesome. I love it.
All right.
Thanks,
dude.
everyone. See you.